Pleasant good evening to each and everyone in Georgetown, Guyana, and elsewhere. Friend zone. I will ask you to subscribe to my channel and press the bell so you will get the next updated video. Well, by saying that, first let me send my condolence to the people in Italy, Syria, and elsewhere that was interrupted by the earthquake. I wonder sometimes if God is so great, which I do believe, why he sentenced some country into such a calamity that caused thousands of people death, women, men, children, and all sort of things, and business collapse and everything, when the wicked people are getting off. Sometimes I ask, is the devil take care of his disciples? God forgive me for what I'm saying. Or is because some country already got demons, corrupt people ruling them, so the Lord don't want to give them more pressure? What I'm going to say is going to offend a lot of my countrymen and women. It is time for God to shake Guyana with an earthquake and destroy the country, because the people are not united and they are corrupt to the core. The black race, by the way, nothing personal. From 1966, under the late Fos Burnham, Desmond Hoyt was different, more racism and a little corruption. And from the time Mr. Hoyt, he tried his best. India lied to him and called him Desi Prasad. He went to a lot of church and Gandhi. They lift him like if they were lifting Mahatma Gandhi. Not realize that they were really getting rid of the man. It so happens the PPP swept into power thanks to Vishnu Bandhu, myself and many more, Max Mohammed and many more, and the late Bob Gangadin, who tried to get to Jimmy Carter years before to bring to Guyana for fair and free election. But ladies and gentlemen, the ex-president Jimmy Carter has done a good deed for Guyana when Dr. Jagan swept into power and Mansour repaired the damage that the United Force have caused when DeGar joined hands with Burnham, 7 seats. And that is why Burnham went into power. If not, the X-13 plan would have taken root and plenty Indian would have been annihilated out of the country because of the communism talk. Because America had to protect the backyard. She had just came out of World War II, and she would not allow no fascist government to rise around this hemisphere to interrupt or disturb the peaceful living of the American people and the human rights standard. I am saying this here for you, the East Indian, to understand. When all America have done that, she had to choose one of the less evil out of the two. But they were misled. Jagan and Burnham played the game, and that was it. And the two of them ruled the country. I do not if you remember the moving of the 3 county train station, the yellow bus, the nationalization of Denver Bauxite Company and Reynolds on the East Coast Berbice Company, and the nationalization of Booker's, Sambach Parker, and Jessel's in the cane field. Burnham was head of the TUC because his voice was scary when he threatened Garton Todd. It's alleged, according to information, he take him in the helicopter, called the bell, and asked if he can fly. And he had to call off a strike with the civil servants. Fortunately, we had a man who's a military man, who, according to information, went to the Amerindian place when the Melvin and Hart family uprised towards some great corrupt police officer. And according to history again, it's alleged they killed a few, and the army was called in, and they called it the Amerindian uprising. With plenty of Amerindian, it's alleged women was raped and beaten. Bayonet was pushed into some of them stomach and they were pregnant. Men was beaten. I remember in Georgetown, I was standing in a corner of the street when 4 trucks passed with a lot of Amerindian with just a tepion. men and women. Where is the human rights people? Where's the United Nations? Even on to today. Many things we are talking about drug war. We are talking about all kind of things. And yes, we have a right as human beings to protect and defend the hemisphere. America is a great nation, but got their own problem. They have rescued people from many countries, but they themselves was involved in those countries to remove the people government and give them a bourgeoisie figurehead who they can control until they get out of hand. Now, I blame the American administration. If you are going to remove a government from a country for the protection of your human rights and your democratic policy, and you put someone there and they become a dictator, killing, causing a lot of problem, it is time for you to move back in and replace that individual. For it is better to live as friends than enemies. We have done it in the Middle East. We are even backing corrupt people in the Middle East because of oil and what we can get from them. My friends, this world can be a beautiful place if we learn to respect each other's boundary and each other. And yes, we came from an English-speaking country, Mother Britain, and we should uplift that standard. And we in Guyana, they call it one people, one nation, one destiny. No, it is 6 people, 6 nations, one destiny, the cemetery. My fellow brothers and sisters, you, the African descendant in Guyana, Burnham lied to you, and many of you are racial, very racial. When Burnham was in power, 90-something% of civil servants was all blacks. Indian women had to have sex to hold a job. I was coming in a car from the East Coast when a young Indian guy sit down was crying and say he quit his job because his boss, who's a black person, wanted to bring his wife so he could have sex with her to hold the job. Myself, I felt for the brother because I came up of a ship and coming through from Berbice to Georgetown. And I said to him, why are you crying? You should send your wife to meet the man. Find out which hotel and place they're going to go and kill his ass. He said, brother, I don't want to do that. You know, well, I tell you what. If they can do that, you can do it. If they can kill, you can kill. Especially when it comes in on your daily bread and your family affair. But to walk and look at a man just like that and kill him, I do not support that. But if you are going to defend yourself because the police don't represent you, you got to pay bribe. And corruption in Burnham time, not height, was rampant. And under the former President David Granger, it's alleged, if I remember right also, don't hold me against it, David, because God will judge you and me. I didn't commit crime against no human being I was accused for none. And I speak the truth as I see fit. If it is true, as is alleged, you saying too much young black boy in jail, you were not fit to be a president in a country with 6 races. Immediately, you should have been replaced. And if it is true that an Indian man killed a man in his business place and he was jailed when the man go to rob him or attack him, is alleged. If these things are true, then straight and forward, it shows that David, I wouldn't call you a racist, God will soon judge you. Same goes to Hamilton Green. All the wrong you do will come back to haunt you. If it's not in the grave, your children shall answer the call. I have nothing against y'all. I'm not your judge. I'm a human being because I am going to tell you here today. I believe in a God. But I believe that if you hurt me, I give God 40 days or a year, and if he can't, I'm coming back for you, just a matter of time. My son was locked up wrongfully over a Kuli woman, an Indian piece of shit. Then Shami Muhammad worked at the courthouse for some lawyer. In the business of 24/7, there's a drunken husband who is alleged to kill his neighbor at Covent Garden or the farmer some way, and he didn't get jail. They call him horseman. And he come to my son's place, all the camera got him, asked the police for the footage, I hope they have children so they shall eat the shit that come from the ass. Okay? Revenge is a powerful thing, David. Come on, Bharat. Revenge is one of the greatest hospitality gifts in the world. Don't hurt innocent people. Hurt those who hurt you if the court cannot give you justice. Sometimes God takes too long. We are only here for a short time. Let the history book written that we went for revenge because we believe in humanity and we should live in peace without any tyranny between us. We didn't make ourselves as a mixed race, a Chinese, a European, as you call white, or a black person, as you call an African descendant, or an Amerindian, as you call Buck. God make us all. The only difference with us might be culture and language. But if we grow in a country that don't belong to us, born there, we must not claim emancipation because no black people out in Caribbean right now, out of Africa, was emancipated. The ancestor was. Marcus Garvey takes some of them to Liberia and treat his black brothers and sisters worse than any European could have done to that race. Today, you are educated, you are doctors, lawyers, scientists, musicians, soccer player, basketball player, making millions and billions. But yet, you curse the European as the white man. Show me what the black country have done to the people since independence when they were free. One take a plane and went to look at soccer, men kicking ball, while young men in Africa playing with their balls. Think of it. It is time for the world to wake up and put these hypocrites behind bars. Today we have an Indian leader in Guyana, a young man. The other day, the Indian mayor, Narayana, what his name say, I saw it on Facebook. The president do not talk to me. Is it because I'm a Hindu and he's a Muslim? I don't know if that is why they arrest him and charge him, maybe put him on bail. It was a bloody question, man. If that is what he was charged for, then God, hear my cry and bring an earthquake into Guyana and destroy the nation until they could come to themselves and save the innocent one, children, men, and women. And for you, East Indian, Guyana is not India. And for you, the African descendant, it is not Africa. Only the two of you talking about this country. Is this your own? It's an Amerindian country. We call them indigenous people, ruled by two dangerous people. Y'all may want to kill Karaya, but let me tell you something. I'm a citizen of the United States. We are servant of this country. We will die fighting for democracy and freedom for all human beings. And America gets what America wants. They put you in power and they can remove you if you messed up. David, your defeat of losing power was locking up my son when you refused to act. When you pardoned some black people out of jail, but you give Ramjatan the letter, as you say, to deal with my son matter. That waste of a sperm from his father. A disease that need to be put away in some lab to test to see what kind of disease is that. The other people call him a drunkard, and he make excuse to me that his investigator tell him, my son play guilty, may he get a stroke and eat his shit before he die and run mad, and his children them eat the filth that come from them. So God, hear my cry today and destroy Guyana and kill the wicked, for you know who is good and who is bad. I am full of revenge for plenty of them who fighting for land, bribing court, bribing police, bribing the place in the court, registrar to hide people documents, lie to people. Do you know what y'all are doing? And then another thing, why an Amerindian have to buy land in their own country? If God take you Guyanese Indian to heaven, he might got to ask permission to even pass next to your house if you build a house there. Isn't that true, Ali? What about you, Bharat? Tell me. Come on, Ramatar. I stand in the forefront to remove the PNC or APNU to give y'all a chance. But y'all are vindictive and corrupt, covetous and very ungrateful. Isn't that true, Mansour? When I look at your cabinet and see all these new faces, I ask where they came from. Where they came from? It's only two races. Guyana got black and Indian. What happened to the mixed race? What happened to the Chinese? What happened to the Portuguese? Come on, fellow citizens, stand up for what is right. The late Bob Marley said, get up, stand up for your rights. Imagine David Granger raised the parliamentarian money, and when the teachers and other civil servants take the street, the police had to keep them off. You, the police, who are guarding them, bodyguarding them, go to meeting with them. You've been underpaid. You need a nice house, a nice car, and you need good money and duty-free concession. It is time to wake up and do the right thing. And for you, the blacks and Indian and others who marry into other race, God love you and keep it up. For you are a true Guyanese. The rest are Indians and Africans. But which country in Africa would accept Guyanese blacks? Tell me. The other day, the Ghanaian president was there and the vice president. Did any one of you take him up the highway to show him the college that was built by Nkrumah? I didn't see that in the news, unless I am confused, or I refuse to accept the truth. Did y'all take him and show him the man who fought for freedom? The great leader, Kofi, that y'all got overseeing the Botanic Garden and the President building? But we got the head of Tito, Gandhi, and some other person not too far from the Guyana Bank in a little square. Ladies and gentlemen, stop being fooled. Stop this thing but black man and coolie man. It's only to tell you the true disease. Wake up. And amongst you, there's a lot of good people on both sides of the fence. Y'all are keeping away from the parasite and the disease. Where is your educational standard? The government should spend more on education. Give every school child a laptop. Make laws and close down all whorehouse. Check on the child trafficking. Make laws that those who get caught for trafficking children must be executed. And it will change. If you believe in humanity and you believe in Allah, Mr. Ali, I therefore ask you, with the authority from Allah, do what is right for humanity and don't listen to party politics. It is time for we to change and go away from PNC or APNU or PPPC and form a national front government in the interest and security and cooperation and unity of the sixth race, and put an Amerindian there to be the president, man or woman. So I call upon all Guyanese, the army, the police, and civil servant friends. Let's work together to achieve that goal, so the world could respect us, where we can share the wealth, put our children in the best school, open great university in Guyana, hospital, and 2 hours per day teaching of the language and explain the truth. And you, the blacks, keep on doing your athletics. You are the one that run with Guyana flag in the Olympic, while my Indian brother singing Poloribina Chatney and falling from the sky or falling from the moon, and the ass can't see the light. I'm sorry if you all take this insult. I apologize. But Muhammad is worse than me. He be fighting war. Jesus said, forgive them. Moses drowned them. All right? So I call upon you all to unite. If Mr. Ali is doing good, let's support him. But you have to be open-minded and listen to people and examine all innocent people case who get locked up wrongfully. For justice is the answer for civilization, peace, love, and cooperation. Long live Guyana. Thank you. I am your host, George Correa.